Thursday, July 25th. Welcome back to the Damon Brew Show, brought to you by Ike Sandwiches. Awesome to have you here. Thanks so much for stopping on by, liking and subscribing to the channel. Do an awful lot to help it grow and thrive, and I thank you. Back in studio, whatever this is, back in my home after a day down at 49ers training camp. A good day, an interesting day down in Santa Clara, where obviously the biggest news coming out of day one wasn't who was out there, wasn't who was doing anything, it was who wasn't there. Trent Williams has got a holdout going on right now, and I'm going to tell you that this is equally a huge deal that you should be very worried about, and also something that you don't have to spend a single moment losing sleep over. You don't need to worry about this at all. You really don't. They're going to reach a compromise. There's no doubt in my mind. They will reach a compromise. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen at a time that everyone agrees to. I know that there's an awful lot of, well, hey, they can fine him $50,000 a day, and this isn't something that they have to give back to Trent Williams. As a matter of fact, they can't refund for getting these $50,000 fines. Let me tell you where they can make up for it is in a new deal where they package in the fines into what the agreement is. So, Trent standing on business. He's not about to lose a penny trying to stand on business. And what he's doing is also trying to postpone, I believe, the start of his 2024 NFL season. A guy like Trent Williams doesn't want to come out and have a whole bunch of training camp, have a whole bunch of preseason football. He doesn't need it. Trent Williams could literally walk in day of game and play left tackle better than just about everybody in the league. I mean, he is in a very small class photo of the best in the business to do what he does. There isn't a person in that locker room who can do what Trent Williams does. There are maybe a handful of players in the league who can even mirror or pretend to do what Trent Williams does, and that's his leverage. That's his leverage right there. This will be done. This will be taken care of. Again, the $50,000 per day fine, standing on business, put it on my tab, all of it's going to come out in the wash. This is a smart business move. The 49ers will respond in kind. This will get done, and he will be out there week one against the New York Jets, or shame on everybody involved, and I have no idea what anyone's priorities are. If anything other than now starting at left tackle, Trent Williams is announced ahead of that Monday Night Football game against the Jets, I'll be absolutely stunned and flabbergasted. Just so you know how grown-ups and professionals handle themselves, there is no unfollowing of the 49ers on anyone's Instagram account. There is no response to media requests from Team Williams or Trent Williams himself. What's the old saying? What, be like real G's, move in silence, like in lasagna? Isn't that it? Be like the G's in lasagna, move in silence. There's nothing from Team Trent. There is no Instagramming. There is no TikToking. This is a grown-up doing grown-up things for grown-up price tags for a grown-up football team that I think will respond in kind and get this done, again, as quickly as everybody involved wants it done. I can tell you right now, there are some players in their NFL careers where they're just chomping at the bit. Can't wait to get back out there. Trent is not at that point in his career. He will take as much time as possible before he's back playing football, as he should, with his skill set and age all being a factor. That's going to get done. The Brandon Aiyuk hold-in is happening. Again, it's bound to be more productive towards reaching a deal or conclusion with a trade, whatever happens here, than if he were home TikToking. So I'm glad that he's there. I know that a lot of people picked up on Kyle Shanahan basically saying he doesn't see much of a difference between a holdout and a hold-in. If a guy's not on a practice field, that's what he really thinks about and cares about as a coach. And so, some people are trying to construe a little negativity to it. I don't think so. I thought that yesterday was a positive day in terms of the going negotiations between Brandon Aiyuk and the 49ers, reaching a conclusion on that. The Trent Williams news kind of caught everybody off guard a little bit. It's going to get taken care of. So even though it's a really big deal, there's also absolutely nothing to really see there. And I don't think you need to be worried. A good, smooth first day for all involved. I asked Brock Purdy, after a full off season, do you really feel that day one went smoother than your other day ones? And he said, yes. You know, even with the absence of Williams and Aiyuk, it did go well. He did feel like he was more in charge and more in command and just knew what to do and knew the guys and knew the pattern of the day. And, you know, I mean, there's experience, and you can't deny experience. It's a big deal. And he's got some now. It matters. It matters. And Brock looked totally in charge. He was vocally in charge. He cuts a slightly bigger physical figure than he used to, but it's not like he went and, pee in a cup, Brock. It's not like he's that level big. There are dudes out there who are just in incredible shape. I mean, really incredible shape. Deebo Samuel, Malik Mustafa, right at the top of that list. Juwan Jennings seems to be in fabulous shape as well. So everybody is out there and ready to go. And even though there was an MRI to Guarendo's hammy, it was a day basically without injury. And that's good. I mean, I got some NFL news here, and we already got a season ender down for the Rams. So that's a bad day of training camp. Again, a good day of training camp is nobody got hurt. A bad day of training camp isn't Brock made the wrong read or this quarterback threw the wrong ball and got picked off. That's not bad training camp. Bad training camp is down ACL injury, season over. That's bad training camp. I know you've had people mislead you as to what good news, bad news, walking off an NFL field is. I'm here to set it straight for you. You're welcome. I'm happy to help. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be helping you more often as the football season goes along. And look, we're going to help you in many ways, not just be better, more informed football fans, more entertained in postgame than ever before, because postgame this year on this channel is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I can promise you that. But I'm never going to steer you in any directions. There will be wisdom given to you. Start your daily wisdom with the sandwich at Ike's. Go get lunch at Ike's. Have it delivered to you. His brand new Mission Rock location, played by 3rd Street Bridge, has burgers. If you like an Ike's sandwich and you like cheeseburgers, imagine the two of them getting together and having a baby. Available at the Mission Rock location is no joke. Go get one. You'll be happy that you did. Make sure you download that Ike's Rewards app. Earn your way towards free sandwiches or burgers. And he's got some of his shops are doing donuts now. My man is growing, expanding, 100 restaurants up. Here's to another 100 more. Cheers to my man. And boy, I hope to see you at Plusnia on Sunday, July 8th around 2 o'clock. We're getting together at the Dubliner West Portal. You can take Muni there. You can take Bart there. You can take a bus there. You can walk there. You can take a car. You can get an Uber. I mean, it's really easy to get to West Portal here in San Francisco. It's on the south side of West Portal. Get yourself to Plus Mania 4, the musical, happening this Sunday starting around 2 o'clock. I really hope that you can make it, that you'll find your way out there, because it's always good to see the people who have been just so incredibly helpful and inspiring and have done an awful lot to not only help me pick up my career, put it over here on YouTube, but the way you guys help each other is pretty special. You're becoming actual friends with each other. This is the greatest chat room you're going to find on the internet. What great people we got. And you treat people even nicer when you get together in the same room. Again, the power of being on premises. This goes back to Brandon Aiyuk. Get on premises at the Dubliner this Sunday. They got a hot dog cart that rolls up around 4 o'clock. So, I'd say we'll be eating good, but we'll be eating hot dogs, which to me is good eating, but I don't know how good for you it is. We can order pizzas. We can order sandwiches. We could do whatever we want, man. The Dubliner would let us do whatever we want. So I hope to see you there. Smiley Dan, guaranteeing everyone's safety, which is a very nice thing to do. We got people asking, you going to be there? You going to be there? Rockin' New Era. Hey, Carl, you going to be at Plus Mania on Sunday? Carl writes back, what's up? I'm to be determined. It's my dad's birthday, and I'll see what I can do. You get your dad coming with you. He was at the last Plus Mania. He should be at this one, too. I am down with La Familia Buszczyk. Get your dad to the Dubliner, Carl. We hope to see you both there. We really, really do. Fantastic stuff. Good people getting together. Happiness all around. Who says the world isn't a beautiful place? It sure is. It sure is. And Plus Mania makes it a beautiful place, too. So thanks to the Dubliner. Thanks to Ike's. And let's get right back to it because, again, being down in Santa Clara, there was one moment that just has stood out above all of them. Malik Mustafa went up and high-pointed an underthrown ball to Danny Gray from Josh Dobbs, and it was, I mean, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful football play. And Malik Mustafa was the star of day one. It is day two. D. Winters has also been getting an awful lot of praise from his teammates, from his coaches. That's good news. We'll get an MRI on Isaac Guerendo's hamstring. Shanahan believes he hyperextended it. So hopefully no big news there, and he'll be back on the practice field shortly as he tries to win a job on this roster. Let's see, we got a roster move for you today with the fact that Trent Williams is not there. He gets put on the reserved, did not report list, and Malik Turner has been signed to a one-year deal. The wide receiver, journeyman wide receiver who's bumped around the NFL, even had a cup of coffee with the Niners just a couple years ago, is back in the room again. There is depth to this wide receiver room that does not exist in the tackle room. So again, the Brandon Aiyuk is it's moving in the right direction. It's still all wait and see. Trent Williams, don't worry about it. They're bringing that guy back. You don't have a football season if you are trying to play it without Trent Williams, if you're the 49ers really expecting to reach a Super Bowl again. Other NFL news around training camps. We got news around training camps. Like I said, some good news, some bad news. I don't want to hear about a single bad throw, an interception during training camp. If your team walked off the field healthy, it was a good day of training camp. There it is right there, by the way. That's a sip of the day. That was a good one. That was money. All right. So, Kirk Cousins cleared to practice in Atlanta. He tore his Achilles last year. It's amazing how the torn Achilles used to be the kiss of death. And now it's turning into like the new ACL, the new Tommy John. Like this is now hey, doctors know how to fix it. You shouldn't lose your athletic career almost automatically when this injury occurs. Kirk Cousins cleared to practice in Atlanta, tore his Achilles last season in Minnesota, which led to his exit in Minnesota. Good news for Kirk Cousins is bad news for Michael Penix. Courtland Sutton, who's a name that, Kruger and I have been talking quite a bit about because there is a disgruntled wide receiver there in Denver who is less disgruntled. He's gruntled now. He should be gruntled. He's not disgruntled anymore. Courtland Sutton has a deal that should leave him satisfied in Denver. He got the team to add $1.5 million to his already existing deal with more incentives even tacked on to that. So it looks like the Broncos Courtland Sutton mini saga has come to an end. And Rams season, again, just underway in training camp like everyone else, and they've already got bad news. Rams cornerback Darion Kendrick, guy who started 12 games for the Rams last season, is feared to have torn his ACL in practice on Wednesday. Again, I don't care if Matthew Stafford completed all of his passes, 100% completion percentage. Every single one of them went for a 35-yard touchdown. It was a bad day of training camp. It was a bad day of training camp for the Rams, who have lost a starting corner likely for the remainder of the season. So, there's your news. Around the NFL, one day at training camp, lots to talk about already. Can't wait, man. Football's coming. Football's coming. It's officially
Maximum.
It's officially on the way. The internet is a really weird place where it's mostly just untalented assholes trying to point at each other, attempting to laugh at each other for whatever reason. There are corners of the internet trying to laugh at each other or trying to laugh at either Kyle Shanahan or the 49ers because apparently Bill Belichick was offered a job with the 49ers coaching staff in any capacity that he basically wanted one. Kyle Shanahan calls Bill Belichick and says, "We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you here. We'd love to have your eyes on the team, your brains on our processes, your advice, your list of do more of that, your list of do less of that." You're like, Bill Belichick has been around an awful lot of winning football outfits. 49ers tried to add him in some capacity. And this is Bill Belichick basically turning around and saying, no, not interested. And there are people trying to laugh at the Niners or nobody wants to join, blah, blah, blah. Kyle Shanahan, this, that, the other. Stop it. Stop it. Let me tell you what's happening. Bill Belichick has a 23-year-old girlfriend. That's what's happening. Bill Belichick officially is dating a very attractive 23-year-old former college cheerleader, and I guarantee you that the minute she put her ankles behind her ears, Bill Belichick is thinking, do I really want to spend my time around 23-year-old dudes on a football field, or do I want to be in bed with my 23-year-old former college cheerleader hottie? Bill Belichick is getting laid. He's what football? Football. I mean, come on. Bill Belichick gives a shit about football. He's got a 23-year-old in fantastic shape, hottie girlfriend. He hasn't thought about hike since. That man's blinded by the hotness. So there you go. It's too bad Bill Belichick met her. I mean, I guess, everyone deserves a shot at happiness and love and blah, 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 blah. I'm sure it's really going to work out. What is he, 104? She's 23. It's perfect. I'm not even as old as Bill Belichick. I'm 49. And I've officially reached no, there's no 23-year-old who wants any of this. Come on. I bet you that guy's got a little money. No, they're really in love. It's going to work. She's mature. So anyways, there you go. Your Bill Belichick, too busy catching tail to tell anybody how to catch more footballs. It makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, you can't, as a guy who's always rooting for other guys, you can't fault him. You can't fault him. I guarantee you, Bill Belichick in the last half century has spent a lot more time in locker rooms than he has 23-year-olds, and he likes being in the 23-year-old more than that locker room now. Way too much visual imagery going on there. Let's move on. All right, so I hope you enjoyed your That's Everything You Need to Know About Football Day 2 training camp. That's where we are. Update. What do we go? We go in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and there's everything you need to know. So what are the other things you might care about? Well, if you're watching, maybe you care that Robbie Ray had a great debut with the Giants. You got an afternoon game in L.A. against the Dodgers. Logan Webb versus Clayton Kershaw. There's a sexy getaway day matchup between big names. Kershaw's making his season debut. And he's probably really happy to see the Giants, and the Giants have historically never been very happy to see Clayton Kershaw. And the Giants right now are hitting .215 as a team over their last 10 games. The Dodgers and Giants have met 12 times so far this year. Today's their 13th meeting. The Dodgers are enjoying an 8-4 series lead. And if the Giants win this afternoon, they'll be 4 games under 500 at 50-54. Only the Nationals, only the Marlins, and the Rockies have a worse record in the National League than the San Francisco Giants. And that's who they are. They are not the team that is, hey, only 4.5 games out of a wild card spot. Doesn't that sound like you're in a position to maybe be? No. No, that's not who they are. Before he hurts himself, while his value is still pristine, I would trade Robbie Ray today if I'm the Giants. I would try to trade Robbie Ray today. I would try to trade Blake Snell this afternoon. I would try to trade, hey, maybe if you get a big package for him, Camilo Duvall. I would try to trade him. I would try to trade Yaz while he's actually hitting the ball. I would call the New York Yankees, said, you just got swept by the Mets. You want Matt Chapman? Let's talk. Seriously. I'll package Robbie Ray and Matt Chapman to you right now for top prospects. It is time for the Giants to get out of we're trying to create the illusion of contention thanks to the wild card being expanded to allow basically any swinging dick into the playoffs. That's not a playoff team. Flirting with the caboose of the playoffs does not make you a playoff team. You got to be an engine to be a real playoff team. The Giants might be an engine, but they're not now, and they won't be if they twiddle their thumbs here in just the dining car. Come on. Farhan desperately trying to have a playoff appearance attached to his sad tenure as Giant general manager isn't more important than finally admitting where you are in your competitive life cycle, sucking it up, making the tough trades, and building for a future, giving a little back today to try to have a better tomorrow. The Giants never have the nuts to do it like that. It's time, because this franchise is stuck in the mud of mediocrity. And they're boring again. Say what you want about the A's, and in spite of their 41-63 record, they're watchable. They're kind of fun. They're a little plucky. They've actually won 5 of 7. The A's are having a better start to their second half than the Giants are. Maybe it was Vince Contronio holding it. Vince says I'm out, and all of a sudden they're starting to win again. Maybe they're doing it one last time for Vince. Maybe that's it. By the way, Vince Contronio has more class in his pinky than John Fisher had in his entire graduating class in whatever, Ivy League school his parents bought his way through, because that guy's a fucking klutz and moron. There's nothing smart about him. Let's see. Some NBA for you. There are lots of Lauri Markkanen signs pointing now towards the Golden State Warriors. There are tweets being twatted about how the Warriors are in the driver's seat now for Markkanen. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to have Cyrus on with me tomorrow at 11. We're going to do a little basketball focus show after spending so much time focusing on the 49ers this week, rightfully so. We'll kind of wrap up the week talking some Warriors, little Olympic preview. The fact that Steph Curry, so I saw an article in SF Gate, that was designed to be a little clickbaity. Got me. My man Alex Simon there, who's running SF Gate, got me. Curry is not talking about his Warriors tenure in absolutes quite like he used to. It's not exactly opening the door dramatically for an exit or anything like that. Curry was having a, very relaxed conversation with Mark Spears of Anscape. And, the question was basically like, would you want it to come crashing down at the end around you the way that, the Lakers paid, Kobe a king's ransom, but the team around him stunk? Would you want to see your career end up like that? And of course, said Steph. Steph said no. He wants to win. He wants to be competitive. And someone says, this is Steph Curry putting public pressure on the Warriors. Believe me, you don't have to put any pressure on the Warriors to want to do right by Steph Curry. I know that it feels like the last few seasons have not been done right, but there was no ill intent, right? There was no dastardly decision. There were decisions that haven't worked out, but none of it is like actively trying to scuttle a great relationship with Steph Curry. He's got a lot of panicky people in the room, so I'll be calming you down tomorrow with my good friend Cyrus, and I hope you plan on coming on by. NBA's new media deal, I guess that's official. Disney, which is ESPN and ABC, will continue with NBA games. Amazon and the NBA is coming back to NBC. Round Ball Rock, John Tesh. It's back, baby. And apparently TNT is out. Now, what does that mean for inside the NBA? I mean, to me, there's two elements of the NBA not being on TNT that concern me. I need Kevin Harlan doing NBA games. Kevin Harlan can move to another network. Hopefully he does. And that show, Inside the NBA, I mean, I would even recommend that Turner doesn't even need to have NBA games to have that show be massively successful before and after NBA windows. I would also tell that show, you don't need anything on linear television or cable. Go to YouTube. That show on YouTube is millions of views every single time it happens. Believe me, people migrate to YouTube. So that show, even though it sounds like TNT really screwed this up and that show and it's all in jeopardy now, it's not. It can continue in some way, somehow, rebrand it, rename it, repackage it, put it somewhere, and it'll be fine. Everyone we live in a world of just pearl clutching. It's ridiculous. I told you, I promised you, I would never, ever waste your time. Not never. So before we get into Club Plus today, and there will be some Club Plusing, America's squeakiest disco ball wants some run this afternoon here on YouTube. Maybe wherever you decide to go, you should consider running there. Or you could just walk, maybe public transportation. But when it comes to driving and road rage, apparently California is the worst. Now, bad drivers in California, it's bad, but I'm telling you, there's terrible drivers around Boston, terrible drivers around Indianapolis. There's terrible drivers around all kinds of big cities. Chicago, it's kind of every man for himself, a little nuts there too. But there is a story in the Sacramento Bee that says, congratulations, California. The Golden State is #1 in the nation in terms of road rage. This according to the Forbes Advisor study that ranks all the U.S. states by their most confrontational drivers. So my very first question whenever I read or hear about a story like this is, what's your definition of road rage? I think we might have different definitions of road rage. To me, being a driver who is frustrated and going like at a neighboring vehicle, flipping a bird, which is asking for it, but just like a little frustration in your driver's seat about the flow of traffic, like that, that's not road rage to me. Like, that's not road rage. Like, road rage is motherfucker got out of his car, and here we go. That, to me, is road rage. Is that how often things go wrong here in California? Well, Forbes surveyed 10,000 licensed drivers and compared all 50 states across 9 key metrics, including the percentage of drivers who have witnessed road rage and experienced it themselves. Road rage shootings. I guess those are easy to measure because there's a police report, but road rage shootings, this is disturbing, have increased by more than 400% between 2014 and 2023 here in California. Fuck, it's terrible. I mean, you really got to be pissed off in traffic to think, where's my gun? I need to use it. This year, California officially replaces Arizona as the number one state in the United States for road rage. California was 13th back in 2023, so quite a leap to go from 13 all the way to number one with a bullet. No pun intended. California had the third highest percentage of drivers who had other motorists cut them off on purpose in 2024. Fourth in the nation in terms of leading the percentage of drivers who have been on the receiving end of yelling, insults, curses, or threats. About 32% of drivers in Golden State have faced verbal abuse from other motorists. Again, we use the word abuse way too. If somebody yells, fuck you, at an intersection, you're not being verbally abused. This is how drivers kind of communicate with each other. If the guy gets out of his car to come knock on you, now we're talking. 32% of drivers in California faced verbal abuse from other motorists. That to me, it's not cloaked in glory, but that to me is not road rage. 11% of California drivers have seen other motorists leave their vehicles to fight or yell. That's road rage as far as I'm concerned. So I think we got a moving goalpost on what road rage truly is in this story's mind, in this research's mind, and in my own mind. Like, there's no amount of me yelling at you while I'm buckled into my driver's seat, or you yelling at me while you're buckled into your driver's seat, where I feel like anything is actually going to happen other than, I'm angry. Once somebody gets out of his car, it's fucking go time. That to me is road rage. So, all I'll tell you is calm down, take a breath, do the math. Do I have more to risk or be rewarded by in this particular situation? And then ask yourself, do I want the next 5 minutes of my life to be filmed and on the internet? Because that will happen. There is no privacy. Don't say anything or get out of a car to start anything unless you want that attached directly to your LinkedIn profile by somebody. So careful out there. And not to mention, just like calm down, get yourself into the JJ Raider ganja jar and just chill out. Everyone is so wired up, so just full of anxiety these days. Take a breath, calm down, relax, for goodness sakes. Take a breath, calm down, go to Ike's, get a sandwich, and chill out. Take a breath, calm down, come to the Dubliner in West Portal on Sunday, and chill out. There will be no verbal abuse. There will be no confrontation. There will be backslapping, laughing, cajoling, fishtails, hot dogs, Smiley Dan. You can't go wrong with these things. By the way, Smiley Dan, you ran into a buddy of mine, or a buddy of mine ran into you. I don't know how it happened, but my buddy Larry, the bartender says, Damon, I was hanging out with a guy who turned out to be Smiley Dan. That was awesome. Real world friends, show friends, coming together, beautiful relationships. I absolutely love it, as do I love you listening to the podcast. If you have downloaded this podcast and you're listening to it right now, thank you so very much. If you want to check out what Club Plus is, make sure you're watching on YouTube because that's what we're about to get into on YouTube. But just for the listeners out there, thank you very, very much. Like, subscribe, share, tell your football friends that this channel is coming this football season and it's waiting for them. Your word of mouth advertising will help this grow as much as anything. So thank you very much for all the love, all the support, all the listenership, all the views, all the clicks. Like and subscribe, good people. And please do remember that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, whew, he's gone. Squeaky disco ball. Here we go. Yeah, it's a party. All right, good chatters, what do we got? What do we got? We'll start with Lori, who says, what do we think the holdup is with Trent then? His asking price seems like extending him helps the cap now and win now could seem to help. He doesn't have any guaranteed money left on his years after this year. It's just a matter of taking money. Look, I'm not an NFL capologist, economist, how you get these contracts to all fit and work, but it sounds like converting some salaries into guarantees is an option that could be out there for the Niners. Look, it's going to get done. It's going to get done. And if it requires, let's be totally honest, if it requires taking 3 rookies out back behind the practice facility in Santa Clara and drowning them in a tub of Gatorade, the 49ers will do that too. That's how important Trent Williams is. I'm good, says, I LOL at that leverage nonsense when they can just cut you. Well, again, who's cutting Trent Williams? Certainly not the Niners. And no one's cutting Brandon Aiyuk because you don't handle franchise assets like that. So that's not happening. Otis Bird saying, dang, guys are already going down. Look, every single time you step on a football field, that could be your last day playing football. That's why these guys want guaranteed dollars, guaranteed money. They want protection. And look, I don't think it should be begrudged to anybody. Chef A looking for a little candy. How buff is Nick Bosa these days? Buff. Very buff. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but buff. Guy is an absolute physical specimen of the first degree. His quads are the size of a normal man's waist. I mean, the guy just has an unbelievable. It's hard to evaluate what's going on the defensive line during training camp when it's not full pads and full nasty. But just watching Bosa's first step, just how quickly he gets off. It's guy's freaking special. Bacon, egg, and cheese croissant. Damon, Aiyuk is a toilet bug. Hey, better drop that. If he signs, he's going to be your toilet bug again. Remember that. Chef A says she's bringing name tags to Plus Mania. Stacy's happy about that. Yay, name tags. We will have name tags. There will be name tags. Joji, we don't need Creepy Bill. Oh, let's not go that far. Let's not, come on. Bill Belichick would have helped. He absolutely would have. I'll tell you who doesn't need Bill Belichick. The 23-year-old he's dating in about 5 years from now. She's going to be like, okay, it was nice to live on Easy Street. I'm a very attractive young woman. I don't want to attach myself to somebody who is closer to hospice than he is his 40th birthday. So I think she will move on at some point. You look at all of this, you know, it's not just money that's making these what are they called? December, May romances happening. It's freaking Viagra. Viagra is putting old men with money back in the game. And I think that there are a lot of young women out there who are just like, where's Easy Street? Oh, he looks like Easy Street. I'm going to go get some of that for a while. Bill's making up with lost time. Exactly. By the way, True Blue Forever, a romantic, if there ever was one, weighs in. Yeah, that's love. It's definitely love. Joji knows what's up. Viagra. That's how it gets up. That's how it gets up. Michael Chan. Hey, there's nothing nothing for hymns can't do. Is this a hymns situation? Yeah, from Big Daddy with his loose skin and old balls. Yes, Big Daddy. And then Gareth just shouting it out like, hey, man, I'm happy for Bill Belichick. He's turned into Bill Belichick. Huh? See what I did there? JJ. Who does he think he is? Leonardo DiCaprio? Oh, no, this chick's way too old for Leo. She's 23. Leo wants to go, Leo's looking for 21 and under. 18 to 21. That's his window. Bill's probably done. Yeah, I mean, probably. Chef A's getting positive. Hey, the Giants got some runs not because of other teams' throwing errors. Wasn't that fun? Doesn't it sound like it's time to be a buyer? Oh, man. It's time for the Giants to admit who they are and stop holding on to the illusion of what they are not. Who they are is not good enough. Not even close. They're not even close to being good enough. They're not close to being close. Even though it feels and looks like they might be close, they ain't. You got delusions of grandeur taking on this team more than you have a general manager who's supposed to always be smart and calculating and thoughtful and forward thinking, making the right moves. Bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast croissant says, I can't watch USA basketball ever since they put pro players in. I watched when the USA team was college players. I hear you. I really do. I wish that we still lived in a world where we could send our college talent to beat everyone, but that's not the world of basketball that we exist in anymore. You got the rest of the world identifying young talent at the age of like 12 and putting them into professional settings to the point where you're running into pro teams internationally, and the college kids would get smoked. It's just where we are in basketball's global life cycle. The team of pros that we're sending to go win gold is not just like rolled out of bed assured gold anymore. The world is different. Chudley says TNT apparently going to sue. They had a right to match. They look, lawyers are coming. They screwed this up. There's no doubt they screwed it up. And, match is something that apparently, according to the NBA, isn't just a dollar amount. Hey, Damon, Round Ball Rock was already on Fox Sports. Also, Charles Barkley is the lone reason why Inside the NBA is watchable. Roddy, the lone reason I'm being watched at all on Twitch, where we're still streaming for some reason. Roddy, thank you. I'll tell you this. It is weird to hear Round Ball Rock anywhere but on NBC. It's so associated with NBC. Look, I like Ernie and Kenny and Shaq too, but Charles, there's no doubt, he's the straw that stirs the drink. And if he says he's out anyways after a year, that show had a shelf life to begin with. JJ Raider Says, I blame all the road rage on the out-of-towners. Maybe JJ, maybe that's what's it. The Irwin, horrible drivers in California come from transplants. I'm sure there are a few bad drivers just organically grown right here too. Yeah, these are not all like Bostonians coming in to screw things up here. There's a lot of people who know how to screw things up right here. Louis C.K. had a good bit about road rage and being told to suck a bag of dicks. Yeah, I do remember. And then he goes into, what does a bag of dicks look like? Is it like shrimp in a plastic bag and they're all sort of like in a pile? Or is it like dicks like baguettes coming out of, bags from grocery stores? What does a bag of dicks look like? Louis C.K. was funny as hell, man. He was. And then he had to start pulling out his bag of dicks in front of ladies, which was just weird. It's just weird. Chef A says, my question is, how the hell is my neighbor doing? She's a Mormon and can't swear. Well, she can. She just chooses not to. I talk to her all the time about it and ask her how the heck she can drive around without being able to swear. That does seem like a difficult thing to do. What I know for sure is that, you get that Mormon and they'll be like, oh, sugar cubes. Well, you are swearing, but you're just using sugar cubes. You've turned something that is not a swear word into your own swear word so you can avoid swear words. You're not fooling anybody. What I think is absolutely ridiculous is we still live in a day and age where, someone will print the F word and it'll be F-U ampersand K, F asterisk C-K. I'm like, come on. We know what you're saying there. Just spell it out. By the way, Smiley Dan, keeping everyone safe. Refer to your safety manual or reefer. Ha ha. I see what you did there, Smiley Dan. Oh, yeah, Larry. That guy's the best, isn't he? No, it's not JJ Rader's like Larry Kruger. No, not Larry Kruger. Larry Piaskovi. Nice Polish boy from Chicago. Great bartender. Hell of a cook. Larry could have 100% gone on like Top Chef and gone to the finals. Guy was brilliant chef. He decided he just wanted to cocktail it up and hang out, which is also a smart move. Pick one thing and be the best. Guy's fantastic. Bacon and eggs breakfast croissant wants everyone to know he is not even gay, but he would date Nick Bosa. Look at it this way. It takes a real man to acknowledge another really good-looking man, I think. And there's no denying Nick Bosa is a pretty good-looking guy to begin with, and then you got that freaking body on him, and he's a specimen. Physical specimen. You do not want that guy around your wife. You don't. Postman in Capitola, always good to see you. Oy, oy, oy! Viagra's a hell of a drug. It's, look at it this way. If you're a young woman or a woman who still wants to be romantically involved with your aging, older partner, husband, Viagra is heaven sent, and may you live long and happy with robust sex lives into your 90s. For other women, Viagra is a freaking living nightmare that they got to deal with. Like, they were ready to wrap this whole libido thing up, and this guy is now harder than Chinese calculus, and he's 70. Good luck with that, ladies. That's tough. What else? What do we got? Joe Schmo saying that Bill is going to date the Hawk to a girl. She just got introduced to introduce a band at some country western thing. And she was given the kind of greeting which should let everybody know that her 15 minutes are at minute 14 and a half right now, if not expired. Jaden Ott for Heisman. Have you been playing? You've been playing NBA 2K25 or NCAA 2K25. Ott can move, man. He's good. I'm really enjoying NBA. I keep on saying that. NCAA. It's not even called. It's College Football 25. They don't even put NCAA on it. But College Football 25, dude, I cranked it up to Heisman level. I threw like 5 first half interceptions. And I was like, I'm playing with Indiana as it is, so I'm already up against it. I can't be throwing 5 interceptions on Heisman level. Let's see here. This is 6.5.0. Hey, DB, apologies for the question you've answered a million times, but how do I become a paid member? Oh, well, I'll always stop to answer this question. Apparently, it's not as readily available on your phone. Open up your laptop. Get yourself to your actual computer, and go about it that way. You can super chat right over your phone, but to become a member, there's a membership button. There is an option to become a part of the uninitiated or the initiated. You are in the uninitiated. You want to be initiated. That can happen. That can happen. But yeah, go to your actual computer and get off your phone and find it that way. Thank you for wanting to support the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Gina, is there single malt scotch at the Dubliner? Of course there is. It's a big bar, big Irish bar. They got it. They got what you need. Got what you need. There you go. Chef A trying to help it out, saying just real simple. Go to that desktop or laptop. You'll find the like and subscribe button and the membership button. And thank you. Thank you so much for wanting to support what we're doing here. Means an awful lot. Means an awful lot that you want to go out of your way to support this. Thank you very, very much. Let's see. Damon, what is your gamer tag? My gamer tag is I'm married and I don't put it out there. I don't go online. I'm not looking to play video games against anybody online. I got 2 kids and a wife, and if I want all 3 to stay, I can't be online playing strangers on video games. So that's me. I don't share that. I don't share that. But what I do share is my gratitude and my thanks for you being here. Still trying to figure out what the deal is with Kruger and if he's going back down to training camp on Friday. If he is, then that means we won't have a wake up. If he isn't, we will do a wake up. I will let you know. And then at 11 a.m. on Friday, Cyrus will be joining me. We'll be dipping into some Warrior conversation, some Olympic conversation. The Olympics officially starting Friday with the opening ceremony. I always love that. I always look forward to that. So I hope to certainly see you at Plus Mania 4, the musical, at the Dubliner in West Portal on Sunday. Get yourself an Ike sandwich, and you will be very, very, very happy. And you are right about this. The one thing Damon will never do is waste your time. Time is too precious. Time is too precious to be wasted on nonsense or just figuring out a way to say the same thing a different way so it sounds new. Believe me, I used to do this for 4-hour shows every day. Ray Ratto didn't even want to talk about anything anymore. And I would just try to keep a conversation going about the same thing in a fresh way. And then I realized nobody consumes anything like this anymore. Get to it. Get to the point. Give me what I came here for. Don't distract me with any bullshit, and then get off the stage. So that's what we're going to do. I thank you so much for being on the stage with me. I thank you for coming on back once again. Like and subscribe. That's a great way to help everything we do. And in the meantime, hope to see you on Sunday at the Dubliner and West Portal. You don't have to go home, but right now you can't stay here.